morning, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to you on Market Today. It's the fresh start of the week. Last week, as far as the magnificent FNO expiry of March is panning out, everything looks good as far as markets are concerned. Let's just start the show with our daily chart of the Nifty, which you are so familiar with. What you see is a 5-day rally that has gone ballistic. 4.1% up on the Nifty and 4.3% up on the Bank Nifty over the last 5 sessions, each of them which have been very, very positive. So overall, in the month of March, we've had a very, very strong 3.4% rally on the Nifty. For the first time in 6 months, there is a possibility that the Nifty might end up in the green as far as the net change is concerned over the previous month, which is February. From September 2024 to February 25, each successive month was a net sell as far as the markets were concerned, and the Nifty itself was down at an 8-month low. Therein, value buying and bottom fishing have contributed to a substantial upsurge, and all that could be good as far as global cues are concerned is in the positive. We are expecting a gap up on the Nifty, given how GIFT Nifty is moving, another 50-70 points. This would be the 6th day running when bulls will be in control of sentiment as far as the Wall Street is concerned. Everything is working in favor of bulls. The US 10-year yield is quiet. US dollar index is below 200-day DMA. You have a mute quote on crude oil prices, and of course the sentiment from Wall Street is also positive. What we'll do, ladies and gentlemen, is get in Mr. Chakri Lokpriya, Chief Investment Officer for Equities at LGT Wealth. A very warm welcome to you, Chakri, and it's such a pleasure being back in touch, especially when sentiment has taken a dramatic turn for the positive. How do you analyze it on the Wall Street? What are you thinking in terms of the end of March?
It's always good to be on your show, and it's always good to be on a day when things are looking more positive. And I think there are a couple of things going in now India's favor. Valuations, as you pointed out, have corrected. Overall, at the Nifty level, we are trading at about 18 times 1 year forward, which is below the 5-year average. So this 5-year average also includes the COVID period. So things are clearly far better than they were in COVID. Companies, corporates, consumers, everybody is far better off. So I think, given that individual stocks have corrected 40-50% or more in the last 6, 7, 8 months, I think there are more than enough stocks across board, large and the broader market, to buy from. And I think clearly, I think we'll continue to buy financials here, and we'll also go industrials and some consumer discretionary.
Okay. So with that background in mind, let's analyze them a little deeper. Chakri, it's been a fabulous 2 or 3 weeks as far as private sector banks are concerned. They've done phenomenally well, in particular ICICI Bank, which is headed towards a record high. Within financials of all hues and colors, whether it's private banks, public sector banks, or even NBFCs, what is your thought? Where is the maximum money coming in?
I think first is we would look at NBFCs. NBFCs, whenever RBI starts cutting interest rates, and we have at least another totally 75 basis points of cuts, if not more, 25 done plus another 50 coming up. And in that environment, NBFCs clearly benefit. Yes, it's fairly well understood that in the initial part, NIMs will be hit, but most importantly, loan growth picks up. When they're in the business of borrowing and lending, and that lending will pick up, and therefore, what is connected to industrials is power finance, REC. That is the sector, industrials, which will pick up first, given that's where there has been the biggest lull, and they're also very interest rate sensitive. So we would start with that, and then we will go to PSU banks and also private banks.
Okay. Okay. It's interesting that you mentioned that you're looking for a rate cut in the first week of April. That's because the RBI credit policy will be upon us, and the new RBI governor, Mr. Malhotra, has been working overtime over the last 2 months to adequately provide liquidity in a market that was really stuck at the illiquid end. So you have a preference for government PSU power financing stocks, REC and PFC. How do you look at the PSU side of the banking sector? Would you have any favorites at that edge, or are you still partial towards HDFC and ICICI banks?
PSU banks are looking good, whether it's the large cap SBI. SBI, mind you, one of the largest banks in the country, is trading at slightly below price to book value multiple on a forward basis. And it's, we all know that its bank is very strong, balance sheet is very strong, lending growth will be the first beneficiary, as industrial capex comes back. And on the mid-cap side, companies like banks like Canara Bank and Union Bank of India, again, they're trading far below book value. Their balance sheets too are very strong and clean, and they'll also benefit. So I think it is SBI, Canara Bank and Union Bank.
Okay, and how do you see this very sharp move that has come on defense stocks in the last 2 days of the 5-day rally? Any favorites there? Is this a dead cat bounce, or is this here to stay?
For defense, there has been a new leg of growth, which is thank you to Trump. It's been a wake-up call for Europe, and therefore, they're all ramping up defense spendings, and they're saying they'll ramp up defense spending over the next 10 years, 15 years. So various companies, Bharat Electronics, Hindustan Aeronautics, Bharat Dynamics, all these companies, can export components to Europe, and therefore this is clearly, here to stay, because this will increase the long-term growth rates.
Okay, I think that's very well put. The juxtaposition of Europe's pivot towards rearming itself is something that will benefit our companies in the short, medium and the long term. What are you not touching even with a barge pole at this point of time, Chakri? What is still out of bounds?
I think consumer staples, those stocks are still very expensive. Hindustan Lever, Nestle's of the world, and the volume growth for them is clearly not showing that kind of uptick that is required to justify an increase in valuations. Given that, they're good companies, well run, and their valuations reflect that, so we will continue to watch them from the sidelines.
Okay, it's your good luck that's rubbing on the Nifty. I just could wish we'll shut shop now, add 600 points, send an air ticket to Chakri, get him over to Delhi and have a nice brunch and enjoy the day. So what a bounce, 2.5% higher. I think this is a huge short covering leg. We are also in the last week of the FNO expiry, and this is a way to sort of slaughter bears on Dalal Street. It's unrelenting, 465 points higher. This will settle down, but Chakri, it's been such a long time to see this lovely shade of green on Dalal Street, and I sort of build it to your good luck on being on the screen. Nevertheless, let's get deep into the markets. Still a 373 point uptick on the Nifty. I am loving it so much. Now, what are the guys who are pulling it up? Banks and NBFCs and the entire financial space is up in a trice. HDFC Bank 1.7% higher, Axis Bank 1.7% higher, a record high on ICICI Bank 0.5% higher. Bajaj Finance is 3.2% higher, 9200 almost, a fresh record high. We have Reliance 1 percentage point higher, SBI 5 rupees 60 higher, Tata Motors 2% higher. This is the top 10 super index heavyweights which are doing extremely well. Let's shift focus to the top gainers in the NSE 500 space. You have 2.5% uptick on Chambal Fertilizers, record high, 7% uptick on Gland Pharma, NCC is up 4.5%. They've recently got an order, and the entire, let me just see the Nifty space on the banking side. So a green tick of Bank of Baroda, PNB, Union Bank, all of them up between 1.2 and 1.4%. These prices will settle down, but the gap up is now 237 points. I think it will settle somewhere towards anywhere between 90 and 100 points. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the beginning of another round of short covering. Remember, the March monthly expiry draws to a close on 27th of March. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a fantastic 2 or 3 days. Chakri, any comments on how we've logged in the pre-open?
It's absolutely, you're absolutely right in terms of, I think where we will see the strongest action is financial services and industrials. Industrials like Bharat,
Yes.
BHEL, and of course the PSU banks. And of course, across financial services, we'll see the strength.
Okay, fair point. The entire NBFC space is in a thick, deep shade of green. Muthoot Finance is 3% higher, 2430. You have Cholamandalam Finance 1.2% higher. A strong move coming on to ICICI Lombard General Insurance, 0.5% higher. So it's green, green and green all the way. A view on gold financing companies, Chakri. The underlying is at a record high, and of course you have a strong momentum in the NBFC space because of hopes of a rate cut. Any favorites between Manappuram and Muthoot? Both of them record highs.
Yeah, Manappuram and Muthoot, both of them are well positioned. As you rightly pointed out, gold is at a record high, and therefore the collateral for these companies, which is basically gold, is therefore has even become more stronger. So their loan to values can show a dramatic cushion for the companies, and therefore affording a higher multiple for the banks.
Okay.
And given that they've already corrected quite a lot in the recent past, I think they will do well in the coming future.
Okay. Vaishali Parekh, VP Technical Research and Analysis, Prabhudas Leeradhar joins us, our original Lady Luck. Good morning to you, Vaishali, and a very warm welcome. 186 points higher on the Nifty. Chakri is with us. Chakri is with us. The early quote was a 700-point uptick. I was thinking we'll send him an air ticket, and you an air ticket. Come down to Delhi. We'll really enjoy and have this party. It's been ages since we've seen this shade of green on Dalal Street.
Yes. Looking forward.
And now tell me, what has changed the sentiment on Dalal Street? 6th day running. You also track a lot of F&O data. Are the bears getting slaughtered?
I would say so, actually. Market, as per anticipation, we saw a good corrective move coming in. The FII data now is showing positive inputs now. What was the outflow now is the inflow. And then we have the strong SIP numbers coming in. So I think overall, the trend is changing. And we would go step by step. We have seen a reversal coming in. So now we would look at 23,700, 24,000 next levels to look for. So, that's the view right now. And of course, Bank Nifty has always supported. It was outperforming. It did not break the previous lows, and it has given a lot of contribution to the market. So I guess the positive vibe would continue.
Okay. Chakri, getting you into the conversation, what would you think is the main contributory factor in this 6-day uptick? Is it value buying by our good friends on the domestic institutional side, bottom fishing, or is this just a dead cat bounce fueled by short covering? What would be your guesstimate in terms of percentage?
I would think a very good percentage of it is actually value buying. And we have been buying too quite aggressively over the last couple of weeks. And because, the valuations for across board for many sectors cyclical sectors have corrected quite a lot,
Yes.
whether it's defense, industrials, financials, consumer discretionary, and various confluence of factors will help it going forward. And yes, so it is clearly fundamental buy.
Okay, fair point. We'll just again juxtapose the long-term chart of the Nifty, ladies and gentlemen. Just about a fortnight ago, precisely on March 3rd, we hit an 8-month low on the Nifty, which was somewhere like 4th of June 2024. Those levels were again revisited. They have a very, very strong bearing on the sentiment, because 4th of June was the beginning of the third term of the present government at the center. It went all the way up to 26,200, collapsed down to 21,960, and from 21,960 over the last 6 sessions, it's an interesting one-way rally. Now, what is more important, ladies and gentlemen, that this gap up that's happened for 165 points has taken out the 200-day moving average on the Nifty. That's a critical level, which denotes that the sentiment is now firmly in the hands of bulls. So let us see how it pans out. But to you, Vaishali, 2 charts that make sense at current levels. What looks good? What are you advising clients?
So, well, we saw, of course, banks showing a robust up move, and those were the private sector banks. But now I would look at the PSU banks. So, my focus is more on Canara Bank. Then even infra sector, if you see infra sector is picking up, so NCC also looks good, and I believe they've got good orders and all. So I think that is one stock to look at. So yes, overall it is a bullish bias for almost all sectors, but we shall go as and when the opportunity arises. So for now, my I think favorite risk reward ratio wise, PSU banks should be looked into, and why not FMCG?
Okay, so PSU banks is what you like, and there is a nod of agreement from Chakri's side as well. What would you prefer? The second rank PSU basket, BOB, Canara, PNB, or would you go with the big boy, SBI?
So SBI has already got into the positive territory. In fact, it was a buy long back. I mean, we saw at 730 levels the signs of reversal coming in. So I think we continue to have a bullish bias. As per trading strategy, we would now look at a target of 780 from here on. So, but as compared to this particular one, I would say Canara Bank, BNB, they have a lot of scope for an upside. In fact, if you have a look at Bank of India, Union Bank, all these have been showing strength. So I guess Union Bank is an outperformer comparatively, but Canara Bank, Bank of PNB cannot be a miss at this level.
Okay, let me give you this industry interesting data. In the month to date, in the month of March, within the PSU basket, Bank of India has been the top performer, up 11.8%. Bank of Baroda, 11%. Union Bank has added 10.6%, and State Bank of India, the biggest daddy of them all in terms of whatever parameter you can think of on the financial side, up 10%. So when big boys like SBI move 10%, then you know that this is a big one in the offing. Within the Nifty, the top performers are BEL, a defense play, up 21% at 297. This is again near its record high territory. BPCL, Tata Steel respectively 19 and 15%. NTPC and Tata Motors 14.5, 14.4%. So these are the top 5 winners, and one very interesting thing I want to tell you, that in terms of losers, on a monthly basis, you have IndusInd Bank, because it collapsed for financial reason, 30% down. Infosys Tech, Wipro. The tech space is down between 5 and 3.8%. Maruti, Bajaj Finserv, and Hero Motors are the 3 other laggards in the market. So that's how it is. Chakri, to you, a 30% downtick on IndusInd Bank in the month of March alone. Is this a value buy, or is this something that you're not touching at all?
Generally, given that there are so many other banks which are trading at very attractive valuations, so I would stay off on the sidelines, and rather than because there are still a number of moving parts in the case of IndusInd Bank. So let it all settle down, and meanwhile we'll buy some other banks.
Okay, Vaishali, in terms of just the common sense as far as technical and momentum trading is concerned, where would you sort of pay more attention, towards the momentum part or towards IndusInd Bank? What is your understanding at this point of time on INBK?
So I would say, well, IndusInd Bank actually, well, it gave a good corrective move purely on technical terms. So even if you look at the weekly chart, there was a support band of 580 to 600 levels. It did make a low of 600, and from there on, it's bouncing back. But well, I agree with Chakri because it will take a while to show some clarity in this particular stock. We rather get into stocks which have got a confirmed uptrend.
Okay, 9:13. We are 2 minutes away from what is going to be a wonderful gap up on the Nifty, much above the 200-day DMA, which is a critical development, ladies and gentlemen. With the Nifty, the Bank Nifty is opening 0.7% higher, 50,982. That's interesting. The Nifty IT index is 242 points higher in a poise, which will take it above 36,944. This, ladies and gentlemen, on the Bank Nifty is also positive development. On Friday, the close was above 200-day DMA. Now we have a gap up of almost 400 points. Last week, weak bears had done their short covering. This gap up and this positioning above 200 DMA means that the strongest of the bears will now rethink their positioning in terms of what the size of this rally could be till the FNO's time Thursday. Remember, the kickstart came last Tuesday when Sensex weekly expiry was there. It got accelerated on Thursday when the Nifty weekly expiry was there, and tomorrow is again Tuesday. Let's see how it goes, but it's a real big one in the offing, because when the strongest bears cover, it essentially means that the bulls get stronger and stronger. In terms of the IT space, Vaishali, what looks best amongst the weakest?
So let's start talking about the IT index on the whole. We've seen a good corrective move coming from 46,000 to 36,000. Even if you look at the weekly chart and all, there is a temporary support over here. So if we hold on to this support, we are likely to see a bounce coming in almost on the front line. But I would be focusing more on cohorts, persistence, because these are the ones which really give good upside soon. And technically speaking, if you have a look at LTI Mindtree, that has taken a very good support. I mean, 4,000 was a very prominent support. It's showing a bounce from 4,200. So I would look at these three stocks to start with.
Okay, wonderful. So we have the kickstart to the market, ladies and gentlemen. 134 points up on the Nifty. The gap up is 274 points on the Nifty Bank, and almost a percentage point on the Nifty IT. It's green and green all the way. Let me just highlight to you the big ones that are moving. Okay, it's a major up move on the blue chips. Reliance 1 percentage point higher, 1290. ICICI Bank 0.5% higher. Bajaj Finance 1% higher. HDFC and Kotak Bank 0.33% higher. Kotak is actually up 1.25. Now let's look at the new highs in the market. So Bajaj Finance is at a record high. SRF is at a record high. There is Kotak Bank is also at a fresh 52-week high. Chambal Fertilizers, JSW Steel. So it's looking good. Vaishali, to you, what would you want to do? Buy this gap up on the Nifty. It's accelerating. 23,500 is with us.
I would wait. Let's wait for 15 minutes for market to stabilize, and then we'll have a look.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now that's the beauty. We have to wait for 15 minutes to at least see what institutions are doing and then follow that trend. So it's a gap up, it's accelerating, and it's after a 5-day uptick. So a weekly gain followed by a gap up, and then let us see what is happening over the next 5-7 minutes or so. Very quickly, just let me run through what the markets are doing, and then we'll get to Chakri. Okay, defense is on the offense. Midhani 4.2% higher, BEL 1.2% higher, Garden Reach 0.5% higher, Hindustan Aeronautics 2.2% higher. What are the top gainers as far as NSE 500 are concerned? Okay, I'll mark Gas Authority 5.6% higher. So it's the PSU setup that's coming back with a bang. What would you make this Chakri? What would you do at this gap up? Anything that catches your attention? 23,500 is now with us.
Fundamentally, I think we'll continue to buy financials, which is both NBFCs, PSU banks, as well as some of these industrial stocks, whether it is BHEL, Nagarjuna Constructions, and including some of the defense names like BDL and Bharat Electronics and HAL.
Okay, I'll request the PCR to kindly show the chart of the CPSE index. This is something that is going to go ballistic, because every single PSU stock is now in top form, whether it is Oil India, whether it is defense plays, all of them are gaining and gathering attention. CPSE index is, yes, just above 200-day DMA. It's a gap up, and it's opened above 200-day DMA at 6207, and this is up 2 percentage points. Remember, on 3rd of March it was at 5296. So this is a 1000-point rally. A 1000-point rally on 5296 is actually 17-18%. So that's the buying momentum on the PSUs, ladies and gentlemen, which at one point of time were the market favorites. Let me just concentrate on the PSU part, because many of us who've been with us for the last 2 or 3 years or so will remember Chota Packet Bada Dhamaka. So BEML 3.6% higher, NCC 3.6% higher, you have IFCI up 2.8%, PFC showing strength 2.5% higher. So it's a very, very strong momentum play. What looks good to you, Vaishali, in the PSU segment?
So, well, let's talk about BEL, because that has always been on everyone's radar. It's given a breakout. So 300 is the price right now. That is Bharat Electronics I'm talking about. We would be looking at the next projected target of 310. Besides that, well, we also have HAL, of course, doing well. And as I mentioned, if you have a look at Canara Bank, Union Bank, PS, PNB, they all are showing strength. So, well, the focus is on those two.
Okay. Chakri, any thoughts? We are now at 920 and 23,500 is with us. 51,000 on the Nifty Bank, 416 points higher. The IT index is 160 points higher. What looks good?
Clearly, fundamentally, financial services clearly is a buy, as we've discussed. Companies like, PFC, REC have, a good 40%, 30% upside from current levels. And then, consumer discretionary will come back. IPL season is here, people will start. And remember, the new IT rules go effective, income tax rules go effective on April 1st. So, which means, the income tax, people below 12 lakhs income, they don't have income tax, and therefore, it gives them an additional spending power. So which means, companies like Voltas, some of the consumer discretionary names, the Indian hotels on the higher end are also worth looking at.
Yes. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's difficult to decide what is in a deeper shade of green. What I will do is now just dip into the broader market and show you all around where we are gaining strength. Now, in the broader space, PSUs are leading the rally. in the F&O space. Top gainer is GAIL. Vaishali, a quick one from you as far as GAIL is concerned. Then we'll move a little further. GAIL is up 5.8%, Gas Authority up, followed by
Yes.
Indraprasth Gas, so it's sectoral, 3.7% higher. Vaishali, Gas Authority.
So, well, as a disclaimer, we had just recommended this stock last week at around 175 levels. We continue to stay bullish, and I think it's given a breakout on a near-term basis if you see about 180, 182 levels. So, once we see this stock sustaining above that, we can look for a target of 195 to 200 in times to come. So, yes, that's the way I would look at it. And well,
Okay,
I would like to, yeah,
I'll
if
request
you
yeah. Please continue, Vaishali.
There are a few stocks which are in my watch list. The small IT stocks like KPIT Technology, Scient. These are the stocks which are showing momentum and they are fairly placed. So I guess one can look at these stocks as well. Tata Technology.
Okay, uh, fine. Coming to you, Chakri, a view on Gas Authority. I'll give you some very interesting data on GAIL. What you see is the 200-day DMA now providing resistance after a 5% uptick. And just look at the valuations of GAIL. The PCR will fire the longer term chart of GAIL, and you will see that the price earnings multiple on GAIL is 9.2, and the price to book is just 1.3. At this price, the dividend yield is 3.2%, and remember, it was at 151 rupees on March 4th. All time high is still 245. Against this backdrop, Chakri, a view on GAIL?
GAIL and the other gas companies basically have all corrected because of the uncertainty on the tariff and uncertainty on how their capex, opex will be attributed. Now there is a whole rethink on. It seems the government is going to come up with a new set of guidelines on probably raising tariff and some amount of easing in opex. Given that these are the two factors in which the stocks fell, that will provide positive momentum for the stocks. But we will wait to see what the final tariffs are before we take a fundamental call.
Okay, no issues. Let's look at the advanced decline in the market at this point of time. Now we are consolidating above 23,500. We'll take a look at the 23,500 Nifty call for the week in April. I'll just get that ready for you. So the advanced decline is almost 2,100 stocks in the green, 236 in the red. So it's easy, 18:2, which means for every 2 stocks that are falling, 18 are in the green. And let's look at the top contributor on the Nifty, ladies and gentlemen. It's a surprising stock, L&T. The 164 point uptick that you see, 25 points are coming from L&T. Kotak, it's 2 percentage points higher. Coming to you, Vaishali, a view on Kotak. This has been a secular move that has come in from about 1800, 1900. See, it's a blowout here. What do you think is happening on Kotak?
So, well, now I would say that one way, and if you see the weekly chart also, it's just one way move. I guess one should keep a trailing stop loss and look for a target of 2200, 2250.
Okay.
Even the monthly chart
Chakri,
is looking very
a quick
strong.
one on Kotak. It was, yes, absolutely. I'm also looking at the monthly and the weekly chart. Amongst your preferences, Chakri, a view on Kotak, in the pecking order, where does it fall?
Kotak, for well-known reasons of management changes and subsequent also general weakness in the retail segment, unsecured loan for the whole industry, that is, the stock has done nothing much over the last couple of years. And I think, now things are probably settling down operationally at the bank, and therefore worth probably beginning to start nibbling into Kotak.
Okay, now let's look at how this rally is widening, and we'll focus on the defense space. Cochin Shipyard, 3.2% higher, 1484. I just saw Garden Reach also buzzing, as also Mazgaon, but it's Cochin all the way. Vaishali, any favorites between Cochin, Mazgaon Dock and Garden Reach?
Well, all three are favorites. I mean, they all are doing very well. So I guess we continue to stay positive, especially if you see Mazgaon Dock getting into new round of momentum. So I guess that is again a new buying opportunity as well. So for now, I'm looking at Mazgaon.
Okay, let me just check this out. I have this gut feel that Mazgaon is headed towards its record high. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the record high is 2913, which we saw on 5th of July. We are now at 2680, so we are still way off. But remember, this is a 1:1 split. The actual price of Mazgaon is at 5200, almost 5300 as far as the charts are concerned. Chakri, you generally stick your neck out only on deep value stocks. You did mention BEL, but amongst the shipbuilders, any favorites, or are you staying away?
Among shipbuilders, I think Mazgaon is looking good, because their order book looks strong, and it's a long cycle orders, building submarines, etc. And with this new defense thrust, I think Mazgaon valuation wise also is looking all right, even at current levels.
Okay, what's also buzzing is Indian hotels, and this is something that has been Vaishali's favorite for a very, very long time. Lots of short covering happening here as well. IHTL, INDHT. Vaishali, a quick one on Indian hotels.
I would say, of course, if you see, even when the market was falling, this stock was hardly affected. So that implies the inherent strength, and as such, hotel industry is doing very well. So I would say, Indian hotel, we continue to stay positive. New buying opportunity comes at a level of 800, but one can look for this stock retesting the previous high of 880 and perhaps higher, going towards 900, 950.
Okay, now the first 15 minutes have now elapsed, which is 9:30, and at 9:30 the Nifty is 23,500, almost 146 points higher. Now what's a little troubling is that the IT space has not kept up with the momentum, and there has been selling at the top. So if you look at the Nifty IT index, it's actually in the red. So it's a bit worrisome that what is happening. Okay, we had a high of 37,042 that's being sold into, and we're now at 36,620. So that's 380 plus 42, almost 400 points are being sold into, and that's primarily because of Infosys and HCL Tech and TCS. So that's a bit worrisome as far as this selling Monday is concerned. But HDFC Bank, Reliance, L&T, Kotak, Axis, Power Grid, all of them in top form as far as the top 5 or 6 plays are concerned. Vaishali, anything that catches your attention now that the first 15 minutes have lapsed?
Well, I would look at M&M Finance, because since all financials are doing well, we are seeing M&M Finance also is coming out of the range. So this is one stock. I would say 280 would act as a near-term support, and it's also coming out of its near-term consolidation. So once, if this view goes right, this can go towards 310, 320.
Okay. So within the finance space, there is a deep shade of green. Mannapuram, Poonawalla, Ireda, CDSL. Let's remove CDSL, PFC and REC. So remember, small ticket items are doing very well. Chakri, before we thank you, a view on PFC and REC?
I think PFC, REC are attractively priced. They trade at about 1 time forward book value. Therefore, I think, and government spending is going to be very strong. stocks are going much higher in a year from now.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, and as it was your presence that triggered that wonderful rally. Have a good day and a good week, and let's hope that a lot of our pain goes away before March 31st. Thank you for coming in.
So thank you for having me. Thank you.
Okay, Vaishali, let's focus now on L&T. This is something that a lot of people have been cribbing about, and it is now the top contributor. What are the charts of L&T telling you?
Well, it is showing strength, but the near-term resistance comes at around 35.50. If we see the stock sustaining above that, I think this is going to show further strength, and perhaps we can look for a target of 3700 to 3800 as the next target. So this is how I would look at, because the stock has rallied right from 3150 to now heading towards 3550. So that is a level one should need, have a look at, whether are we moving past or are we seeing some resistance at these levels.
Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the issue that the market is facing is this conundrum on the 200-day DMA. See, Nifty is right there, but it's now facing selling pressure because the rally is now on the 6th day. Fresh positions at this point of time are fairly dangerous, and we have seen the Nifty now slipping below 23,500. It's okay, not an issue. The intraday high on the Nifty was 23,520, and we are at 475. So that's 20 plus 25, 45 points of profit booking. Maybe it's going to be a flat open after the gap up, and we'll sort of consolidate around 23,500, 23,450. Vaishali, would you buy the dip?
I would wait for a good dip coming towards 24,300 levels. That would make it a comfortable buy.
And at
and Bank Nifty is given a very good run, so that could be an avoid right now, because Bank Nifty, if you see 51,200 is the resistance. So I would wait for Bank Nifty. Maybe Bank Nifty may take a breather now, and we may see market going sideways. Perhaps FMCG and these are the stocks which can give, and the mid cap stocks can give some.
Okay, now what will also assume importance is rollovers, because we are now on Monday. We have 3 days of work left, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, and of course Thursday for the monthly expiry, and lots of rollovers will be now moving towards strength. So we'll keep that in mind. Abhi to there is nothing much, but there's a very strong rollover of Manappuram Finance happening above 50% already. What are the other numbers which attract my attention? Manappuram is the best so far. Let's just view the markets from a different point of view. Rollovers, yes, it's well, surprise, surprise, Policy Bazaar as well. This has come back very, very strongly, now above 1600. PB Fintech, Vaishali, today it's taken out 200-day DMA with a vengeance. All-time high was 2240, but we are still at a modest 1658. What are the charts telling you?
It's a good bounce back. I think the stock can go towards 1700 and above that if it's sustaining higher. So yes, it's a good stock showing good strength, but 1800 near term is a level to watch
for. Okay, now look at BDL, 3% higher. Mazgaon is 4% higher. BEML is actually also a defense stock, 6.8% higher. I'll also request Vaishali to look at IREDA's chart, IREDA. Remember, many stocks are now battling the 200-day DMA, so you might just see some selling pressure or some profit booking, but IREDA is not. IREDA is far below 200-day DMA, and it's just taken out 21. So it essentially means that the mood turns positive on IREDA.
So
Again, a
yes,
financing company, again benefited with a potential rate cut. Yeah, Vaishali, Ireda.
I would say one can buy with a support of 150 and look for a target of 180, 190 to start with. It is showing a trend line breakout also. There is a resistance, and once we are going above 165, 167, it's a trend line breakout, and we can look for targets of 180, 190.
Okay, so that's the move coming in. There is a 100-point downtick on the IT index. This has to be mentioned because this is the first one to show profit booking, and now the market is sort of booking out on many stocks. Glenmark is in the red, a percentage point lower, 1493. What's really moving very strongly is Cholamandalam Finance. 1.7% higher at 1568. This is the entire interest rate theme that is doing very well. Remember, this is a very strong balance sheet, and it's doing pretty well. Chola Mandalam,
Yes,
Vaishali.
so I think this too looks very attractive. 1600, it has gone through a long consolidation for a very long time. This stock has been hovering around between 1400 to 1600 levels. So I think the way the stock is showing today, one can buy this with 1630 as stop loss and look for a target of 1750 on near term basis.
Okay. Anything else that is buzzing as far as your charts are concerned?
So yes, have a look at Axis Bank. That has been quite a laggard in the banking counter. That too has given a breakout above 1080. So I think next target one can look at is 1150. And focus is more on cash stocks right now. Roto Pump is showing strength. BEML is looking good. And you missed out when it already gave a good rally. That is Zentech.
Okay, okay. 939. Let us now pay attention. I think it's banks, and banks all the way. Look at Axis Bank, 1091. And why is Axis Bank rising rapidly? Axis Bank is rising rapidly, ladies and gentlemen, because ICICI Bank has hit a record high and they have to play catch up. And Axis Bank is still below 200-day DMA, so maybe today is a day of profit booking, but let's hope for the best. 1090 and it's up 2 percentage points. Vaishali, what would you do? Buy April futures?
Yes, I would. Because this needs to go towards 1150.
Okay. That's how it is. And would you want to give a view on ICICI Bank now? Do we chase the record high?
I think ICICI can consolidate at these levels. Let's wait for a little bit of a dip. And then maybe around, say, 1320, that would be ideal if we get a chance there. And then have probably it would get into new round of
Yes.
momentum. Because on the whole, Bank Nifty is also showing resistance at 51 200. So I wouldn't be in a hurry to now focus on banking stocks.
Hmm. Okay, now look at this wonderful thing. ICICI Bank is actually slipping from all-time highs. It was 1355.95 and the rally has been very steep. So we'd be very careful on ICICI Bank. This was at 1212 on 10th of March. So from 1212 it's moved to 1355. So that's a very nice 17-18% uptick on the second highest weighted stock on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. So this is really big. We'll just wait for this to sort of settle down. Now let's just look at volume buzzers because the first almost half an hour of trade has lapsed. Any volume buzzers that I can think of? Okay, RailTel, how interesting, 8% higher, 336, 2.5 times 5-day average, Vaishali, and we haven't even done half hour. Your view on RailTel?
A very strong bullish candle formation already. So I would say yes, 320 can be the support for intraday purpose, and I think this stock can rally towards I think 350, 360.
Okay. Apart from RailTel, anything that catches your attention in the railway space?
So yes, Titagar Wagon is another stock which also has come now in the F&O category. So I like Titagar Rail. That is also showing strength. I
Hmm.
would say 780 would act as a support, and one can look for a positional target going towards 1,000 levels. Besides that, I always focus, and this is the one of the stocks which we already recommended, is Jupiter Wagons. So that too is having a rounding bottom, and we are seeing
Hmm.
an up move, gradual up move coming in. Yes, so this would be another stock to buy, I feel.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's interesting. Uh, JW and JWL and of course Titagarh is what you like, but it's Kotak and Kotak all the way. 2131. It's doing immensely well and days high. Shriram Finance now 685.25, 1.2% higher. Chola, of course, we've just discussed 1577, 2.5% higher. What else is buzzing? That's how it is. Anything that catches your attention, Vaishali?
So, well, the stock has not yet got into momentum, but chartically, I like Hudco because that is one sector which we need to see some bounce coming in. So, this is one of the stocks that can rally next. So, risk reward wise, this looks good.
Okay. So for the moment, it's platform stocks and it's the entire financial Nifty space. Let's look at what the Fin Nifty is doing. The Fin Nifty CNX Finance. Okay, how interesting. 24,812, and today is a gain of about a percentage point. All time high on Fin Nifty, folks, is 25,000. This was on 26th of September, 25,200. So we are almost within there at 24,780. So this is looking good. And why will RVNL stay behind if RailTel is sticking, if all these stocks are doing very well? RVNL 378. So today is the day for railway stocks. 379, 5% higher. How does it look?
Yes, this too has a similar pattern, rounding bottom formation, and 360 should be the near term support. This can go towards 400, 420.
Okay, 400, 420. Now the rally in the market is accelerating on the Nifty Bank, 1.2 percentage points higher, and this is looking better and better. Let's look at Bank Nifty. I wish I could show you another chart where there's a gap up and it's doing really well on the 15-minute thing, but this is good. Bank Nifty, what you see now is 3rd January highs. So that would mean 2 months and 3 weeks. So roughly a 3-month high, let's just take it that way. So that's how it is. Bank Nifty, Vaishali, you were very keen on it from the start. 51,188.
Yes, so 51,200 is the resistance level which I maintain. We'll have a look. We'll wait it out.
Okay, RailTel is now up 9%. We caught it at 5%, 6% higher. So it's rail all the way. Now look at Ircon.
Ircon, yes, that is the
4.7%
one.
higher. This is looking good. Okay, you're liking Ircon, is it?
Yes. Similar pattern,
How
lot of
interesting.
upside scope.
This
Yes.
is yes, exactly, a lot of upside scope. This is way below 200-day DMA, which is at 206. So this is looking really good. I think Aircon is going to show a lot of traction, but the big boys have started to move, and that's HDFC Bank, 1786 now, 1% higher. What is the all-time high of HDFC Bank? Let us see. This is a clear interest rate trade that is coming a lot of distance. Vaishali, HDFC Bank.
Yes, so 1740 would now be the base because it has given a breakout on near-term basis at 1765 levels. So 1740 would be the near-term support, and one can look for a target of 1820, 1840 for now.
Okay. That's very interesting. What also is moving? KPIT Tech, 2.5% higher, 1356. Shipping Corporation, 8% higher. So the entire high beta trade is moving in sync with the market on the PSU side. Okay, now I'll give you some very interesting data. We track almost 70 to 75 PSUs. Okay, let's track the number at 75. Only 4 are in the red, and that's minimal, 0.5% down on IDBI, NLC India down 0.4%, HPCL down nothing almost, GREC Ray Insurance Company down 1.3. So entire 70 to 73 PSU stocks are in the green, led by Shipping Corporation, Ircon, GAIL, platform stocks, MSTC, the entire defense space, and very strong move coming in on the railway pack. Engineers India, 4.5% higher, 171. This was also a market darling. Any view on that?
Yes, I would strongly suggest a buy because this is one of the stocks which is always giving good returns when you spot it at good support levels. So I guess after a good consolidation at 160 levels, this is ready and this can gradually go towards 190 to 200 levels.
Okay.
In fact, one must look at
now
the
what also is moving is the auto pack. Yeah, Vaishali, please go ahead.
Yes, so I was just coming to that. Have a look at Bharat Forge. Bharat Forge, all the Forge stocks, RK Forging in the cash category and all, and Bharat Forge. That is also from last week. If you have a look, it has broken the trend line and it is showing strength. So this is another stock which can be considered.
Bharat Forge, ladies and gentlemen, we have to keep in mind because the government of India has given an artillery piece order to unlisted Tata Group within the defense space, Tata Defense and Bharat Forge. So it will be 60-40. I think 4,000 artillery pieces have been ordered. I'll have that checked. But that's the reason for Bharat Forge buzzing with the defense space. Okay, now we are at 9:51, 9 minutes left for the show. Finolex Pipes, for some reason the counter is the top gainer. We will mark the price and check the chart. Finolex Industries Limited. Okay, so this is a fresh start, ladies and gentlemen. This is something really interesting. Before this one extends even more, Finolex Industries, Vaishali, 352 was the all-time high way back in June 2024, and now at 192. What are the charts telling you?
Bouncing from its deep oversold, we have seen 332 corrective move coming to 170 levels, showing signs of reversal. So I would say one can buy. It is a good buying opportunity. 180 would be the near-term support. For a longer-term perspective, 170, and wait for a target of 230 to 250 levels.
Okay, one more stock, ladies and gentlemen, which you have to keep in front of your buying list is Birla Corp. This is a cement company on the mid cap space, 1056, and I remember a high of 1500 on this one. Actually, 1800. 1800 is the all-time high that we saw on 7th of March. And cement demand is back. Mid caps within the cement space, Birla Corp and Dalmia Bharat. These are two stocks that are buzzing on analyst radars as well. So, Vaishali, is the worst over for both of them?
I would say so because it's already bouncing from its oversold zone and in the process of higher bottom formation. So I would say as far as Birla Corp is concerned, 1000 should be the near-term support, and gradually this can go towards 1250 levels as well. So I would give it a shot here.
Okay. Okay. Before we let you go, final comments on the market opening and what do you expect? 23,500 is back, ladies and gentlemen. You should have bought the dip. 700 points higher on the Nifty, and IT index is back in the green.
So I would go contrarian. I mean, of course, we are approaching the result season soon, but if I were to see Infosys 1560, 1545, which was the previous low what we had marked, I guess if the worst is negated, I mean, it's factored in, then IT can give a bounce. So I guess value buying can emerge in IT sector.
Okay.
But comfort lies in FMCG right now. We are looking at Colgate bouncing back, HUL attempting, and as we spoke about it, KPIT technology, Tata Tech, they're already getting in a comfortable trend. So, well, those would be the stocks that one can look at. And always my all-time favorite is the power sector.
Okay. Power, mein, what do you like?
Torrent Power, well, we have already recommended, and then along with that, NTPC, REC, they are safe. Tata Power, these are the stocks which can't be a miss.
Okay, you know, see the buzz is back in your voice, and that basically means that momentum is back, volume is back, green tick is back, and you know, this is after 5.5 months of terrible time. So it's good to hear that, how should I say, bounce in the voice. And thank you so much for your time, Vaishali. We look forward to catching up with you again.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a nice day. 9:55, ladies and gentlemen, we'll start to wrap it up. So a gap up after a 5-day rally. That gap up has taken the 200-day DMA with it. This is a very, very positive development. The market is now going to, especially on the Nifty, hover around 200-day DMA for 3 or 4 days and see and test it. Short covering is taking root because we are in the fag end of the FNO expiry for March. March has been fantastic. We are up almost 4.5, 5.5% in the last 6 days. And strong bears will now start to roll back. That means more gains. Everything is back. The entire PSU sector is back, whether it is shipping corporation, whether it is from the railway space, IRFC, Railtel, RVNL, whether it is earlier IREDA, all of them are now showing signs of very strong moves. Defense is on the offense. Till about 5-7 days ago, I was recommending that you get back into the Motilal Defense Fund. That has been a wonderful move that has come in. What else is critical? Today's closing, it should be above 200-day DMA, and more importantly, we should close above 23,500. So with those hopes, ladies and gentlemen, Let's hope for a great day. The week has started on a strong note. Previous week was very strong. The next 3 days are critical. We need to put bears back into hibernation and move into the earnings theme. Thank you for watching. I'll be back at about 12:30. Have a nice day.
Rapid technological shifts, navigating the investment landscape requires a new approach. This session will deep dive into